Good evening, and welcome to today's news briefing. We have several major developments to cover, including Vice President JD Vance's striking speech at the Munich Security Conference, a Russian drone strike damaging the Chernobyl nuclear plant, the conclusion of a federal probe into Vince McMahon, a Treasury Department audit into government payment security, and the unfolding crisis within the Justice Department. Let's dive into the details. Vice President JD Vance delivered a powerful speech at the Munich Security Conference on Friday, urging European leaders to confront what he calls the most significant threat to democracy: internal decay. Rather than external adversaries like Russia or China, Vance warned that censorship, government overreach, and election manipulation are eroding democratic values across the continent. He specifically called out Romania for allegedly annulling an election under European pressure and criticized governments for restricting free speech. He pointed to recent cases, such as the conviction of a man in the UK for praying near an abortion clinic, as evidence of what he described as a backslide in individual liberties. Vance also addressed migration, linking unchecked immigration to security concerns, referencing a recent attack in Munich. He reiterated the Trump administration's stance that European nations should increase their defense spending, shifting the burden away from the United States. He concluded with a call for Europe to uphold democratic principles, arguing that political discourse must remain open and unrestricted, stating, "Democracy rests on the sacred principle that the voice of the people matters." In Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky reported that a Russian drone attack struck the protective shelter of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, sparking a fire that was later extinguished. Chernobyl, the site of the catastrophic 1986 nuclear disaster, remains a highly sensitive area, and any damage to its containment structures raises serious concerns. The International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed that radiation levels remain stable, though officials are closely monitoring the situation. Zelensky condemned the attack, emphasizing that Russia is the only nation actively targeting nuclear sites in ongoing military conflict. Federal prosecutors have officially closed their investigation into Vince McMahon without filing charges. The probe had focused on allegations that McMahon concealed sexual misconduct settlements through secret agreements. While a federal appeals court previously found that McMahon improperly withheld documents, prosecutors ultimately decided to drop the case between September and January. Meanwhile, the Securities and Exchange Commission reached a settlement requiring McMahon to pay over $1.7 million in penalties and reimbursements to WWE. This legal resolution comes as his wife, Linda McMahon, prepares for a Senate confirmation hearing for her nomination as Education Secretary. The Treasury Department has launched an audit into security controls surrounding federal payment systems following concerns about access granted to a Trump administration team led by Elon Musk. The review will span the past 2 years, focusing on claims of fraudulent payments and allegations that Musk's team attempted to remove federal workers while potentially exploiting government systems for financial gain. Democratic senators, including Elizabeth Warren and Ron Wyden, have called for greater transparency, accusing the Treasury of providing conflicting information about the team's level of access. With lawsuits already in motion and former Treasury officials voicing alarm, this audit could have significant implications for the administration's handling of government operations. Finally, the Justice Department is facing turmoil after the sudden resignation of 6 senior officials, including the top prosecutor in Manhattan. This mass exodus follows the DOJ's decision to halt the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Danielle Sassoon, who stepped down as acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, alleged that the DOJ's leadership interfered in the case, citing political motives. She accused officials of pressuring prosecutors to dismiss charges in exchange for Adams' cooperation on immigration policies. The Justice Department denies any wrongdoing, while Adams' attorneys have dismissed the claims as false. However, the controversy is already drawing comparisons to the Watergate era Saturday Night Massacre, fueling fears that political influence is undermining the integrity of the Justice Department. That's it for today's top stories. Stay informed, stay critical, and we'll see you next time.